gentlemen, welcome to the 2013 Apprentice Student of the Year Awards. Tonight is a night of celebration. We're here to honour a group of exceptional people who've been selected from over 40,000 student enrolments. Tonight, we'll meet the best of the best of our apprentices while being served and entertained by the students and teachers of Fountains Restaurant. My name is James Stafford. I'm an Executive Manager of International Business Development here at the Institute, and I'm delighted to be your host for this evening on behalf of Box Hill Institute Group, a new name, but more on that later. Thank you for joining us for this special event. Now, of course, there's always housekeeping, and this one is around telephones. So if you have one of those newfangled mobile devices in your pocket, if you could turn it to silent or off or whatever your preferred option is, except on and loud ringing. All right, I'd like to introduce Elizabeth White, the Chair of the Board of Box Hill Institute, to formally welcome you. Please make a welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Wonderful to be here and to welcome you all to this very special evening, the Apprentice Student of the Year Awards. Can I just suggest we might all take a lead from James and myself and take jackets off if you'd prefer. It's fairly warm in here, so feel free to do that. On behalf, James, I think you've led the way there. It's fantastic. On behalf of everybody here, I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, who are the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting on today. And I'd also like to pay respect to elders, both past and present, of the Wurundjeri Nation, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians who are present. I have great pleasure tonight in particularly welcoming our special guests for this evening. I'd like to welcome the State Member for Forest Hill, Neil Angus. Welcome, Neil. He was unable to attend our ceremonies last week because Parliament was sitting, so very good scheduling for Parliament that you're able to attend, Neil. Welcome to Councillor Andrew Munro, the Mayor of Whitehorse City Council. Welcome to Andrew. And Councillor Jennifer Yang, who's the Mayor of Manningham City Council, is an apology, and we're delighted to welcome her representative, Michelle Kleinert. Welcome, Michelle. Could I also welcome my fellow board member tonight, Michael Zangmeester, and of course John Maddock, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Box Hill Institute, with his wife Jill. The Box Hill Institute Group Executive Team is represented here tonight by Jennifer Oliver, Daryl Kane, Sue Kearney, Kerry Ferguson, Jenny Beckman-Wong, Angela Hall-Lipman, Sandra Walls and Greg Pringle. Thanks to all of those for turning and enjoying with us tonight. Now, you might notice, as James said, that tonight's staff name tags, if you've peered closely at any of the name tags, refer to us as Box Hill Institute Group, and that's because the group now consists of both secondary school options, vocational education and higher education degrees, along with the CAE operations, Box Hill Institute Singapore, Box Hill College Kuwait and the Australian Pacific Technical College component. And we welcome you all here tonight to the Box Hill Institute Group celebrations. I'd also like to welcome the 2012 winner of the Apprentice Student of the Year, Joshua Whiting. Josh, can you wave if you're in the room? Very good to have you back here again. We're looking forward to catching up with you. Our guest speaker for the evening, Stephen Bills from the Box Hill Institute alumni, who's the owner and partner of Lingnam Fine Furniture. Stephen, can you just say hello? Yes, hi, welcome to you. And to all of our award winners who are here tonight with their guests, parents and friends and partners, to all the Box Hill Institute staff and ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is such an important night for our award nominees and for the Institute, and it wouldn't be possible, of course, without the support of our many generous sponsors. Could I welcome again, as we do each year with great thanks and respect, our special guests from the Rotary Club of Box Hill, President Joe Majeko with his wife Melissa, President-elect Vincent Lee with his wife Lisa, and the Vocational Director Tom Thorpe with his wife Dorothy. The Rotary Club of Box Hill sponsors the Student of the Year Apprentice Awards, including the Alan Broadhead First Year and Second Year Apprentice Awards, which we're recognising here tonight, along with the final year Alan Broadhead Apprentice Award. It's just wonderful that we continue to have Rotary with us on these celebrations each year, because these prestigious awards certainly rate as one of the most enjoyable functions, and it's a delight to attend them each year and to see the fine achievements of our talented students. Here at Box Hill, providing the training is just the start. We want our students to realise, reach and perhaps go beyond their full potential. We want to empower our students to study and study longer, and if you look at the program, you'll see a group of students who've all got a pretty common theme along those lines. They've realised a potential dream that they have, they've exceeded possibly their own and others' expectations, and they have produced something absolutely special to be here with us tonight. So regardless of tonight's result, they are all winners and they are all poised for great things in the future. These are 14 students who, through an exhaustive process, have been identified as exemplifying excellence. They're students from a population, as James said, of 40,000. Just think about that. That's a pretty good trawl, isn't it, to reach that pinnacle from such a large student group. They'll join many high-profile students who've gone on to be leaders in the field from the Institute, and we're never short of a good brag around here. So let me name drop and mention Gerald Rector, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Vic Health, Frank Kimura, the owner of the Movida group of restaurants, Ricky Swallow, who has sculptor art displayed in London, Vienna, Venice and Los Angeles, Maddie Richardson, former AFL football and commentator, Aaron Turner, who's the owner of the esteemed Loam restaurant, voted Regional Restaurant of the Year 2011. And we could go on, but pretty distinguished alumni, and our finalists tonight join that group. And whatever the result, they've got the right to be here because this milestone event is marking their achievements. And who knows, they could go on to join the impressive list of previous students. The winner tonight goes on to the State Awards, of course, and as I love to say each year, absolutely no pressure on the winner tonight, but we do expect to send them in there to win, and we'll throw the full resources of the Institute behind coaching and training them to do that. As well as paying tribute to the award winners this evening, I'd like to finish by thanking our dedicated teaching staff, many of whom go above and beyond to support and encourage our students. And I would ask the staff who are here tonight to pass the thanks of the board on to our staff. We're only as good as the people who lead our students, and we have an excellent team here. Thank you to everybody who's attending. I hope that you have a fabulous night, and on behalf of the Box Hill Institute Group, I welcome you all. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'd like to say that not wearing a jacket was innovation, but it was in fact oversight. But anyway, there you go. Entree will now be served by students and teachers from our Centre for Hospitality and Tourism Studies, and we will join you again shortly to announce the first of our awards. Thank you very much. Yes, it's Christmas time. All right. I've no doubt you enjoyed your entree. Here we are, back again. As Elizabeth mentioned, Box Hill Institute very much appreciates the support it receives from sponsors. For many years now, a highlight of our student awards has been the support we enjoy from the Rotary Club of Box Hill, who is the major sponsor of our Student of the Year Apprentice Awards. The Rotary Club has been long-term sponsors of our student awards and several scholarships. The Rotary Club provides the Alan Broadhead First Year Apprentice Award, Second Year Apprentice Award and Final Year Apprentice Award, which commemorate the late Rotarian Alan Broadhead and recognise Alan's devotion, dedication and support to apprenticeship training. I'd like to invite Tom Thorpe, the Rotary Club of Box Hill's Vocational Director, to join me on stage to say a few words about the Rotary Club of Box Hill and the Box Hill Apprentice Awards. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, James, and good evening, everyone. Now, just before I came up here, I managed to spill some water on all over my speech, so this is going to be good. It's all smudged. I tried to mop it off, but it only made it worse. But it's a great honour and a privilege to be here representing the 42 members of the Rotary Club of Box Hill at tonight's Apprentice Awards. And I'm pleased to have with me tonight, and also representing our club, President Joe Majetko and his wife Melissa, and President-elect Vincent Lee and Lisa, and my wife Dorothy. We're proud to be involved in sponsoring these prestigious Apprentice Awards, and they are known, as you've heard, as the Alan Broadhead Awards. The Rotary Club of Box Hill has a long association with Box Hill Institute, and we've worked closely together for a number of years. In fact, it goes right back to when the Institute was first started, and the first CEO and the man that got it all going, the late Jeff Fountain, was a past president of our club. It is this long association and our desire to honour young achievers that brings us here tonight. Our club's active in many ways, assisting young people in their development and in their careers with programs such as Youth Exchange, Youth Leadership Awards, Model United Nations, and Group Study Exchange. Just a few of those. These programs, as well as tonight's awards, are made possible by the proceeds of our annual art show. And now this is the time when you get your diaries out and you make a note that it will be held in November this year, opening night 27th of November at the Box Hill Town Hall. And also from our Opportunity Shop in Canterbury Road, Blackburn South. Now, who was Alan Broadhead? The Alan Broadhead Awards are named after the late Alan Broadhead, who was a past president of our club. Alan was a prominent businessman in Box Hill and was the proprietor of Box Hill, of Broadhead's timber and hardware store. He was also a founder and director of the Gardens Medical Centre, which now forms part of Epworth Eastern Hospital. As a former councillor of the City of Box Hill, Alan served as mayor in 1967 to 68. He served for a number of years as a district scout commissioner. A tireless community worker, Alan was dedicated to helping young people achieve success. And the 3 Apprentice Awards tonight are presented in his honour. Apprenticeships open up a whole world of opportunities to those who apply themselves. Recognise these opportunities and make sure you make the most of them. Apprentices are particularly dear to my heart, and maybe that's because I started my working life as an apprentice many years ago, and I think perhaps I can add many, many years ago to that. But it's an experience that I'm glad that I had. On behalf of President Joe and the members of the Rotary Club of Box Hill, I congratulate all the candidates chosen for recognition tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. And I'd like to also send a cheerio out there to Joe and Melissa, who have long been neighbours of mine out there in the community, so it's great work that Rotary is doing. And we really would like to thank Rotary for their great support. I now have pleasure in presenting the Student of the Year Pathways Vet in Schools Award. This award is open to secondary school students who are completing vet in schools, that's vocational education and training in schools, or pathways programs with the Box Hill Institute Group. I'd like to ask Neil Angus, MP, to stage to present the awards, and can Paul Caravias, Sarah Adams and Tyler Vasey please join me on stage while we show your film clips.
Last year I studied a Pathways automotive program and I really enjoyed that at Box Hill, so I decided to continue into the same program but in VETIS form. I'm yet to meet a teacher that I don't like. Everyone's very supportive, They can teach very well. They don't demand respect, but you give it to them because they respect you in the first place. The location of Box Hill, you couldn't ask for something much better than this. It's got a lot of spaces. You've got the park right next door, 7-Eleven across the road, trams, buses. Box Hill Station is only a 5-minute walk up the hill. There's nothing that's lacking really. In my spare time, I enjoy playing sport, tinkering with cars, hanging out with mates, the typical teenager stuff. I'd like to thank my parents for letting me do the course. I'd like to thank Frank for teaching us for most of the year, and he was a really good teacher, and everyone else that was assisting me in getting to where I wanted to be.
I studied Certificate 2 in automotive, mainly because I love fixing things. It's always what I've done, always what I've been into. I've always watched people fix things and gone, oh, I wish I could do that. After I finish this course, I definitely will do another automotive course at Box Hill because it's such a nice area, it's such a nice place to be. So in Year 12, really Year 11 and 12 is the hardest studies because you work hard, get a good ATAR score and go on, and that's what you do with the rest of your life. And next year I definitely will keep studying on with automotive, definitely at Box Hill because it's such an amazing place to be at and learn at. I'd like to thank my family for, helping me get to this course because, I don't have any money, so they helped me pay for it. And I'd like to thank Tony as well. He's helped me through so much of this course. I was really new to automotive when I first started, and I thought I was going to, fail so badly at doing what I was doing because I didn't know anything and all the guys knew everything to do with automotive, and he really did help me out a lot.
I'm studying Cert 2 in automotive, and I got into the car scene through Dad. As a young kid, he got me into cars instead of soccer. My role models are Frank. He's inspired me through mechanics and the way he teaches and the way he talks about things with a passion. My dad, because he got me into the scene and I've loved every minute of it. And Richard Hammond, because he's cheeky and he loves driving and making fun of everything. Once I finish the course, this will be my last year at school and at TAFE, and hopefully end up as an apprentice mechanic at Lexus. I'd like to thank my dad. He got me into this at first, so I appreciate for what he did instead of making me go into the soccer community. Frank, he's made me love every single minute of this. He's always made me want to turn up to classes. We've never done anything bad in our classes. Everything has been enjoyable.
Now we've got that exciting moment. Now, they didn't mention the other great part about doing this course is you get to wear really cool glasses. That's very good. All right, congratulations and thank you, Neil. Could you possibly come out and pull the magic card out of the envelope and announce the 2013 winner of the Student of the Year Pathways Vet in Schools Award?
Thanks very much, James. And the winner is Sarah Adams.
Yeah. Thank you, all of you. Okay, if you guys can go and take a seat. Thank you and congratulations. And thank you, Neil, for your assistance. I'd now like to invite Joshua Whiting, the 2012 Apprentice Student of the Year, to speak. Please make him very welcome.
Thank you, James. Good evening, distinguished guests, Box Hill staff, students both past and present, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Whiting and I am the recipient of the 2012 Box Hill Institute Apprentice Student of the Year and 2012 Box Hill Rotary Alan Broadhead Award. During my time at Box Hill Institute, I faced many challenges and received equally as many rewards. I was a mature age student beginning my first year in a class where the average student age was just 18. As you can imagine, this was quite an interesting time for me. Throughout our 3 years together, my fellow students and I, along with the teaching staff, shared many wonderful experiences, learning and growing together, forming strong bonds and creating lasting friendships. I watched as the vibrant impulsion of youth gave way to a more capable and matured student, one now educated and carrying a quiet confidence, a confidence in the knowledge given them by a gracious and, I might add, patient teaching staff. The opportunity to study as an apprentice is one not given to everyone and sadly taken from some. During my time at Box Hill, I lost peers, although I gained new ones. Even I stumbled upon my way, finding myself unemployed and no longer able to continue my studies. This was a difficult time, both personally and financially. However, in time, I was fortunate to be given a second chance to complete my studies with my current employer. And I was very happy to be reunited once more with my fellow students and Box Hill teaching staff. The completion of my apprenticeship in 2012 capped off a wonderful period in my life and gave me a strong feeling of accomplishment and pride in myself. Education is a journey that has many rewards. I know this because I'm standing before you this evening. Since completing my secondary studies in 1992, I have undertaken 4 apprenticeships, completing 3 with more than 8 employers. I currently hold a Certificate 3 in Light Vehicle Automotive, a Certificate 3 in Marine Engineering, and now a Certificate 3 in Air Conditioning and Refrigeration. Prior to my studies at Box Hill Institute, I operated my own business, training 2 apprentices of my own to completion. I'm currently employed as a refrigeration technician with a well-established Melbourne metropolitan company. My work is quite varied and highly interesting. On any given day, I can find myself performing diagnosis and repair on anything from an ice machine in the State Parliament building to critical blood plasma refrigeration in a major hospital. One of my proudest achievements to date has been the research, design and implementation of an Australian first procedure for the control of Legionella bacteria in ice and water dispensing systems. This project involved various communications with the American CDC, as guidelines on this process do not exist in Australia. This system is currently implemented at East Melbourne's Peter MacCallum Cancer Centre and to this day continues to provide effective protection for critically ill cancer patients. Being nominated for and winning Student of the Year was a great surprise for me and an even greater honour. It is a wonderful feeling to be recognised for doing something you love by those whom you respect and admire. This achievement has further confirmed in my mind the value of education and the promise it offers to those determined enough to undertake it. I am reminded of a phrase spoken to me by a mentor many years ago during my first apprenticeship. He said to me, "Knowledge is power," and indeed it is. I am proof that no matter what your age or circumstance, the mind can always be taught new things and given new opportunities. Why settle for continuing upon a path you no longer have a passion for? Don't live your life thinking, what if? I feel the mind is an amazing thing and our greatest asset in this life. For long after the body has withered, the mind will remain strong. I'd like to thank the Rotary Club at Box Hill for their continued support, without which these awards would not be possible. I'd also like to thank the teaching and administration staff of Box Hill Institute, and in particular the refrigeration department, and Len Rains for my nomination. And finally, I offer my congratulations to tonight's nominees, award recipients and their families. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Now it's one of those rather wonderful times of the night because you're about to enjoy your main meal as prepared by the hospitality staff and students here, and I'm sure you'll love it. So we'll see you after the meal. Thanks. Oh, it's terrific. Everybody quietened down beautifully. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed your meal, and I'd now like to introduce a special guest. It's my pleasure to tell you about our guest speaker for this evening. There's a gentleman who I was talking to earlier tonight, and we found out we're virtually related. It's quite extraordinary. Anyway, Stephen Bills studied cabinet making at Box Hill Institute and worked with some of the finest antique dealers and builders in the region. Stephen and his partner Adrian Binkett, who's also here tonight, commenced their association in 1988 when working for a Danish organ builder, and are now two of the most sought-after cabinet makers in Victoria. Stephen and Adrian are now the owners of Yarra Valley's Lignum Fine Furniture Company, which they established in 2005. Prior to this, Stephen worked as a production manager for DNG Restoration for 7 years. Examples of Stephen's work have found their place in some of the most prestigious residences all around the country and the world, continuing to be sought after as both heirlooms and investment pieces. I now welcome our very special guest, Stephen Bills, to the stage. Make him very welcome.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to congratulate first off the chefs for the meal. Absolutely magnificent. That was fantastic. So thank you. Now it's been quite a few years since I've been at this facility. Yeah, it was back in. I actually started my career in cabinet making as a Year 11 student at Dunlow Avenue, doing a VOP course, which, yeah, that's looking around here. Also looking at the photographs that were being shown in the PowerPoint, looking at the room down in the cabinet making facility that I actually did my time in. It was it's quite amazing. I'd also like to congratulate all of the finalists here. It's quite an achievement, absolutely amazing achievement to get to this point in your career, to be chosen amongst from your peers, and I believe I was just told that there's in this school alone there's 40,000, which is quite a daunting number, and to think that it's been whittled down to the nominees that are here tonight. So congratulations, and I think we should give them all a clap for actually making it to this point. So while I'd been honoured in being asked to come and speak here tonight. That was just incredible. And then I accepted, and I thought, yeah, I can do this. And then realised quickly that I'm a cabinet maker, not a speaker. So I'll do my best. But look, the first thing that came to mind was, if you're in a position like this, if you've been nominated to be an Apprentice of the Year, the question would be asked. I would ask myself, why am I here? Or why are you here? And to me, over my time and the experiences that I've had, I've found that there are three key areas that have influenced me in choosing my career path for a start. And that is passion, skill, and leadership qualities. And to get to a point like this for all of the nominees, that's quite an achievement. And that's something that they would have had to go through. They would more than likely have those three areas: the passion for what they do, the skill, which is something that they learn, and then leadership qualities are something that I don't think you can necessarily teach, although you can brush up on it, but it's something that is core to the person. So everyone has a journey to get to where they are, and many of them will have made the decision to attain a trade certificate through experiences that they've had when they're growing up, and through observing friends or family in similar professions to what they've chosen, which would have given them a bit of an idea that perhaps they could follow suit. Some people find a career path that just interests them. But we all choose a vocation in life through some form of influence. For me, I actually was influenced greatly by my father. He's a mechanical engineer, spent a lot of time away from the family, working on the mines. We were over in Western Australia for quite some time, and he spent a bit of time in Canada, up in Alaska, and so we got to travel a fair bit. But one of the early memories that I have of my dad, and thinking about maybe what I could do as a future, was at quite a young age, and I didn't actually think of it as a future, but something that I just wanted to be able to do. I was watching him. It was coming up to my birthday, and he decided that he was going to build me something, and that something was a little catamaran yacht. And I actually stumbled into the workshop while he was carving that out, and I remember I would have been 5 or 6, doing well to remember back then. But I opened up the workshop door and saw my dad standing there with these blocks of wood and carving them, and created this fantastic little boat. And he carved the hulls, fitted the masts, put the rigging on, and then after that we managed to head down to the beach and actually put this thing in the water, and it worked. And I just remember standing there watching and thinking, my goodness, my father has actually created this with his hands. That is something that I would like to be able to do. And so that's where I created, it was, I guess, born in me a passion for creating something, for being able to put my hands to do some work. So from that point, once you've got the passion in you and you've got the fire in your belly that drives you to want to actually do that, then you would look at starting to develop the skills in hobbies and interests and so on. And then lastly, but no means least, there's the drive for leadership. Now, that I think came to me later on. I realised that I was able to actually, and it came in when I was working for a company building, it was D&G Restoration, working for Graham Geddes, and I was looking after quite a few people in the workshop there, and that's where I developed my passion for leadership as well. And I believe that this sort of experience would be quite true for all of the nominees here tonight, that they would be going through probably the same sort of thought processes and experiences in getting themselves into a career and into a career path that's going to actually take them down a really exciting road. And it's something that is an exciting and sometimes a little daunting path, but I can assure you, so far, with all of the ups and downs that I've had in my career, it has been worth it, absolutely. Now, a little bit about how I became a student at Box Hill Institute. Most of my schooling was academic focused. I went to mainly academic schools, which for myself, I should have realised when I was 5 that watching my dad working with his hands and thinking, this is what I want to do, why did I go to an academic school? I don't know. But I've managed to get into some work experience and did that in automotive when I was at school. That was well before I came here to Box Hill. I did a couple of rounds of work experience with, and that's something that I find is, as an employer, we were just talking about this at the table just now, is that with apprentices, to get an apprentice on board, it's actually really good to have observed a person working, and it's good for the apprentice themselves, or the prospective apprentice, to actually be able to get out and get their feet in the water, so to speak, and see what it feels like to be in amongst trades. So I managed to get into some trade orientated work experience, and then from there, decided to go and get myself enrolled in the VIP, which is a vocational orientation program all those years ago, in cabinet making in Year 11 at Dunlow Avenue campus. Once I completed that year, I got an apprenticeship with a company in Blackburn called Deakin and Deakin. That was such a blessing to me, I tell you, to be able to. It taught me how to use my hands in traditional methods with working with timber. I learned a lot about style and design, and to be able to get yourself into it, and all the nominees here, with the places that you're working in, you really need to soak it all in and take in every aspect that you possibly can from your employer, because what that gives you down the track is absolutely invaluable, and something that will stay with you and serve you well over time. So yeah, once I got myself into Box Hill, that was an absolute. In all of my schooling years, I actually didn't do very well. I wasn't focused. I didn't really like what I was doing, and would have preferred to have been working with my hands. So once I actually got into Box Hill here, and I found myself in a Year 11 course, which still had the academic stuff in there, but it was a focus towards cabinet making, and so it was trade orientated, and I just absolutely loved it, and so quite different to where I was. Where I'd been in the past. For the first time in my life, I actually found myself doing well in my studies, and I actually found my feet and took off from there. It was just a really exhilarating time. I'm not sure if you nominees here would have experienced. One thing that came to my mind, just as a bit of an amusing part of being here, was sitting outside the cabinet making faculty down there at lunchtimes, and I'm sure that this sort of shenanigans doesn't go on these days, but a lot of the students that I was with, they had fairly powerful cars, and they'd like to rev them up down in the car park there and have little drag races. And I remember sitting many times at the top of the stairs there with the smoke billowing and the engine screaming and the teachers racing down the stairs to try and apprehend them. And that was quite fun. And of course, at the end of the day when we were leaving, they often had police sitting out on the streets too. So I'm sure the students these days have calmed down a lot since those days. But I have a great deal to thank Box Hill Institute for in my career, for actually setting me up, and watching the nominees speaking about their experiences here at Box Hill Institute I feel exactly the same way from all those years ago. To be able to draw on the knowledge of the teachers that you come into contact with, and be able to get the qualifications and move on in the industry was such a leg up for me, and I really give my heartfelt thanks to Box Hill for doing that. Anyway, my journey in my work, as has been spoken about earlier on, with some of the things that or the places I've been, the people I've worked for, the pieces I've built, and meeting with Adrian, my business partner, years ago, while I was building pipe organs, of all things, that was an amazing part of the career, and a fantastic meeting. And that's about your journey. There are elements of your journey that that build you into down the track into the tradesman or tradesperson that you will become. And it's the experiences, the relationship and knowledge are the three key areas that I've identified that has been core to my progressing through from being an apprentice into working for companies, and then working my way up and eventually starting a business. I started out on my own, and then Adrian and myself decided to form a partnership, and we haven't looked back since. It's been a fantastic journey. There's been ups, there's been downs, but in the long term, it's something you wouldn't trade it for anything. But being able to identify these key elements and use them to your benefit will put you in a far more exciting position as you move forward in your career. So it's really beneficial to look out for the experiences that you're going to have, the relationships and the knowledge that you're going to build, the relationships you're going to form. So, as has been outlined a little, I started my apprenticeship in cabinet making with Deakin and Deakin. It's a company up in Blackburn. They're now working out in country Victoria. And I built a skill set there on learning traditional construction methods and styles and custom-built furniture. And it was, even back then, it was unusual to be able to work in cabinet making in my field and build a skill set that was has now almost died out with the advent of CNC machines and modern technology, which we've all got to actually embrace. But I've found that learning the old stuff, learning the old techniques, has actually stood me in very good stead when it comes to designing and using the modern machinery. So it's something that has been really good for me. Spent a bit of time after that doing some data cabling, something completely different. I worked in constructing some mass-produced furniture for a couple of years, which also, that again, is more experience. And that's something that as tradespeople, building on your experience bank is something that you really need to concentrate on doing, because that's going to stand you in good stead as you move forward. Then once I'd finished with that was about the time when I got married, and this is there's things that happen, there's experiences that you have along the way that and this one I'm about to explain really formed where I was going and has landed me where I am now. At the time, I was absolutely mortified with what happened. I'd just got married. I'd actually quit from a job and lined up a new job to come back to, and organised my honeymoon. My wife and I went away, had a great time, and I was coming back to a new job. Landed back in Melbourne, and started my new job on the Monday. Hated it. Went back on the Tuesday, still hated it. Went back on the Wednesday and went to the boss and said, "Look, I'm sorry, this is just not working out." But what had happened was, and he was not very pleased about that either. What had happened was, on my way back from my honeymoon, we stopped off on the Gold Coast at my wife's parents' place, and I'd actually gone and bought myself an age. And had a look through the job section, and I'd noticed that there was an ad there for a cabinet maker wanted in an organ building factory, and I thought, this looks good. And I showed my wife and left the paper there, but put it in the back of my mind. And as I was driving home, you can imagine, I'm thinking, now what am I going to say to my wife? We've just got married. I've walked into a new job. I've just quit. I've come home and said, "Hi, honey, I'm back. Don't have any work. Sorry." I still to this day remember the look on her face is, "Oh my goodness, who have I married?" And I said, "Fear not, I've got a plan." And on my way back, on my way back from resigning from the job that I'd been in for 2.5 days, I'd stopped in at a milk bar on the way back, not far from here actually, and just on the off chance said, do you have an age left over from last Saturday? And they had the age sitting there. I picked it up, took it home with me, and I made the phone call after a cup of tea. I made the phone call. I actually had an interview that afternoon and was re-employed before I got home. So I'd gone to work, resigned, come home, told my wife I didn't have any work, and then was re-employed by the end of the day. And that was that decision that I made when I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I was thinking, where am I going? I don't want to be here, but I don't know what I'm going to do if I quit, but I can't stay here. So I moved. And that decision actually put me in touch with the guy that is now my business partner, and it built my skill set dramatically over the next few years. We worked building pipe organs together I was there for about 7 years. Absolutely fantastic. So what I would say is that I could have stayed in a job that I didn't think was going to work for me and just try and push it out, or make the decision to actually move on and find something better. And it actually could have gone horribly bad, but it didn't. It went very, very well for me. So anyway, I worked in organ building for about 7 years, then went to Woolstore Furniture, worked with them for quite some time, for about another 7 years. And that's the first place that I started working with computers back in the 80s when I was doing my course here at Box Hill. And I could see back then that computers were going to be computer-aided drafting and machining was in its infancy back then. It was very, very basic and very, very difficult to do and very, very expensive. But it wasn't until I'd started working for Woolstore Furniture that I actually went and did a course in CAD design and taught myself how to, after that, how to apply that into the cabinet making that I was doing. So again, learning is very, very key to success, I believe. Is something that you've got to keep on doing, keep on revisiting what it is that you might be able to do to better yourself. So that comes into under the knowledge side of things. Then from working with Woolstore for some time, I went to D&G Restoration, which is where I learned worked with relationships with people. That taught me a lot, dealing with people. So that was it. There was some really good times and there were some very, very tough times in there, but I learned a lot. Went from there to become self-employed, and then after that formed a partnership with Adrian and created Lignum Fine Furniture, which is where we stand today. So that's a little bit about my journey, and the underpinning of the learning that I did here at Box Hill, I still fall back on that today. It's something that hasn't left, and it will always serve me well. So I do have a great deal of admiration for and thanks for what I learned here and what was imparted through the teachers and the facilities. So in conclusion, what I thought of was that you add the passion, the skills and the leadership qualities together, and that's one group, and then combine that with your experiences, your relationship and your knowledge, and put all of that together and work with that, and the reward will be there. So that's basically how I've tried to make my career path move, is to combine all of the experiences that I have, the people that I meet, the relationships that I make, the knowledge that I can gather, and that's something for you guys who are just starting out. If you have that in the back of your mind as you're starting out on your career paths, that there's all of this opportunity that's lying in front of you. There's people that you're going to bump into that are going to give you information and give you tools to use as you move forward in your life. There's the relationships that you build there. There's the knowledge that you can gain in the jobs that you're doing. Any job that you do is going to help to build that that bank of experience. And actually, I was just when it comes to the leadership side of things, I was actually reading a blog that my youngest daughter had. She's only 14, and she decided that she wanted to write a blog, and she's looking at, very keenly at leadership herself at that age, which I find amazing. And I just want to leave you with these words that she's put on her blog. And she says, ask yourself these 3 questions. Am I willing to take up a role of leadership to inspire my friends, my family, my peers, and any other people who I come across in life? Do I want to contribute to the future of our generation and the generations preceding? And am I ready to change the world? And I thought, that's coming from a 14-year-old, it inspired me. And so I thought it would be appropriate to bring that to you and share that with you. So I'd like to again congratulate all the finalists. Thank Box Hill for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak and share a little bit about my journey and how Box Hill has aided me in that. And so thank you one and all.
Well, you can add, Stephen, to that list of skills accomplished after dinner speaker. So that's well done. And it's very interesting because we were talking before with Andrew Munro, who's here, our Mayor of Whitehorse. We were talking about the old Dunlow days. So it's interesting to hear a second Dunlow person. My first year at Box Hill was spent doing some sessional teaching at Dunlow. Michael, you're a Dunlow veteran. Yeah, so the VOP and TOP programs were sensational. They were really great days. Now, I'd like to announce the next award winner for the evening, with footage of the 2013 Trainee Student of the Year Award winner, Emily Klopfer. Emily was unable to attend tonight as she is currently overseas, and I ask her teacher and nominator, Bruce Shane, to the stage to accept this award on her behalf.
At Box Hill Institute I did hairdressing, Certificate 3 in hairdressing. I chose to do that course after I'd worked in a salon for a year. I decided to get qualified. I started as an apprentice and then ended up changing over to the full-time traineeship. And I love hairdressing, and I always have loved hairdressing, I just never got into it until later. I loved the training, the facilities, the salon, the Aveda salon was terrific for me. It was a different salon experience to what I was used to. It was much faster with a lot more changeable conditions, and it was really good to get real life experience in the salon. People that I would thank for helping me get where I have and achieve my qualification would have to be my family. My husband had to deal with the kids a lot for me while I was doing the course. He had to take them on and do school pickups and whatever else. And the rest of my family, mother-in-law and the rest of my family were terrific with looking after kids when they were asked, and a family friend as well. So I was very lucky. And the teachers here at Box Hill were also very supportive of everything that I needed to get through my course. So I'd have to thank all of those people.
Yes, we had some words Emily had handed over to us, and we were hoping that Bruce would read them, but having read them, I know why Bruce doesn't want to read them, so there you are, because here we go. from Emily. Firstly, I would like to apologise for not being at the Student of the Year Awards dinner. My family and I had a pre-arranged holiday which was booked long before I had any idea I'd been nominated for this award. I would like to thank Box Hill Institute for having various course structure available, wonderful facilities and supportive educators. With special thanks going to Bruce Shane, my teacher, for your assistance, flexibility, tricks of the trade, and of course a joke here and there. I really enjoyed every aspect of my course with you. Thank you. With my qualification, I now work for myself, which is going very well, allowing me to juggle both work and a busy family life. I'm honoured and very excited to be the 2013 Trainee of the Year and would like to thank all parties involved that have made it possible. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, Emily. And thank you very much, Bruce. We'll now be inserting, what will we do? No, we won't be inserting anything. We'll be presenting. That's most unfortunate, isn't it? Yes, thanks a lot. We will now be presenting footage of the 3 finalists of the Alan Broadhead First Year Apprentice of the Ward. Thank you, Michael. And I would like to invite Councillor Andrew Munro, Mayor of the City of Whitehorse, to the stage to present the finalist trophies.
And they won't be inserted.
Could you please join me on stage? Les Wu, Susan Portelli and Chris Perrone.
I study Certificate 4 in Automotive Technology in Box Hill Institute. I like the car industry, fixing the car. That was part of my dream, so that's why I started. My role model is my supervisor from my work. His name is Brad. And yeah, he's the great supervisor. He's always nice to everyone, and he's very smart. And he's got a lot of knowledge about how to fix the car, and he's very friendly to anyone in the staff. In my spare time, I like to reading the magazine, especially car magazine, and also watching the motor racing, and also another spare time, especially in the winter time, I go for skiing. Once I finish my Certificate 4 in Automotive Technology, I'll keep studying to gain diploma of automotive. Yeah.
What I studied at Box Hill was a Certificate 3 in hairdressing. Reason why I did it was because I absolutely love hairdressing as a pastime, so I just thought I'd incorporate it and do the course, and I absolutely love it. The aspects of the course that I found most interesting is what I'm actually studying at the moment. So we're doing our cutting, which I'm finding really great because I can create a new hairstyle on someone, and I'm absolutely loving when they walk out and feel amazing. My role model are my parents, actually. My dad is very hardworking and has built up himself from nothing to a massive business, and I inspire to do that in hairdressing. The teachers at Box Hill are absolutely amazing. I have Natalie Miller as my teacher, and she is the best teacher I've got at the moment. She's taught me everything I know and makes me feel so comfortable in the classroom. In the future, or actually one of my goals in the future is to own my own salon and have clients and people working for me, and just having an amazing time and having my own aspect of having a hairdressing salon as opposed to just for working for someone. I think I'd be a worthy winner of the Student of the Year award due to me being so dedicated to my work, loving the industry and being very hardworking. The people that I would like to thank would definitely be my employer, just because she's been there every step of the way. My parents, because if it wasn't for them to encourage me to come here, I wouldn't be here. And my teachers here, absolutely amazing. Natalie is the best teacher I've had.
I'm studying Certificate 3 in cabinet making at Box Hill TAFE. My uncle is a cabinet maker, so I started an apprenticeship with him. The things I've enjoyed most at Box Hill are making furniture and learning the factory side to cabinet making. My biggest role model would have to be my uncle. His name is Wayne. He's my boss, and he's teaching me everything I need to know about the trade. My favourite teacher would have to be Fev. He was really helpful and showed me a lot of things about the trade. like sharpening chisels and like cutting when I first started, and just all the little tricks, all these little tricks that made it easier. When I finish my course, I hope to be a subcontractor and a fitter for a cabinet making company. I'd like to thank my boss, who's my uncle, my mum, my sister, everyone who's kind of helped me along the way. The teachers here have been awesome.
Thank you, Councillor Munro. I'd now like to ask Tom Thorpe, the Vocational Director from the Rotary Club of Box Hill, to announce and present the prize to the winner of the Alan Broadhead First Year Apprentice of the Year for 2013. Drum roll.
This is exciting. The winner of the First Year Apprentice Student of the Year is Les Wu.
Yeah. He's got his hands full there. Thank you to our runner-ups. And Les, can I attract you to the microphone for a moment? Just, if you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, amazing night. Yeah, first time I ever have like this big award. Firstly, especially thank you to my employer for giving me the opportunity to become Apprentice of the Year, and also one of my teacher, Tony Conti, sitting over there, who is to nominate me. And thank you very much for your support, especially
Thank you very much to our finalists, and thank you very much. Thank you, Tom, and to the finalists and winner. We will be introducing our second and third year apprentice finalists after dessert has been served, so please enjoy your meals. Thank you very much. Hope you're all enjoying your dessert as we return to our Student of the Year apprentice categories with our two final groups of nominees. We are now presenting the finalists of the Alan Broadhead Second Year Apprentice of the Year Award. I'd like to invite Councillor Michelle Kleinert, representative for Manningham Mayor Councillor Jennifer Yang, to present the trophies to our second year finalists. Could Jessica Eastwood, Jamie Flavel and Bradley Spitzer please join me on stage as we show their video footage.
The course I studied at Box Hill Institute was my Certificate 3 in hairdressing. My boss actually came here when she was an apprentice and recommended that I did too. The teachers at Box Hill are great. They're always so helpful and enthusiastic and really encourage you to keep going and learn as much as you can to get through your course. In the future, I hope to travel within hairdressing, maybe do cruise ships, but I'd also like to eventually own my own salon. I hope to continue studying after my course here at Box Hill. I'd like to come and study a business management course, so have some understanding of how businesses run to eventually own my own salon. I'd be a worthy winner of this Student of the Year award as I'm dedicated to hairdressing. I love it and I'm so passionate about it, and it's such a rewarding job. In my spare time, I like doing a lot of hair and beauty outside of hours, exercising and going out with friends. I'd like to thank my mum and dad for their support, also my sister and my boss for teaching me everything I know about hairdressing.
I'm studying Certificate 3 in furniture making to gain further skills in the cabinet making industry. The teachers at the Box Hill Institute have been really helpful. They've pushed me in my course. When I first started the course, I was just trying to get through the course as quick as I could so I could get finished. I had aspirations of finishing early and gaining a wage again rather than an apprenticeship wage, but they have pushed me in the course at each stage and improved my skills. The people I'd like to thank for helping me achieve being here and doing this course at Box Hill Institute, foremost are my children for allowing me to work full-time and do this course. The community where I live in Ringwood, at the school and neighbours have all been super supportive. My family for being able to come down and support me when they can, and my employers. They've taught me a lot of valuable skills. They've taken me on as a mature age apprentice, and it's been a really good experience.
I'm currently studying Cert 3 in electric technology, so it's an electrician at Box Hill, and I studied this because my father's an electrician, and whilst travelling overseas I met many electricians who were travelling with work, so it's a good opportunity to do that. The things I enjoy most about my studies at Box Hill would definitely be working hands-on in the barn and in the control lab, and the teachers have a lot of experience and they're willing to share their contacts and that experience with you. My role models are definitely my parents. My father is an electrician. He's worked in the industry for a number of years. He's set up his own business at one part of his life, and he's got a couple of houses, and he's set himself up financially and also seen a lot of the world. I'd like to thank Joe for nominating me for this award. I'd like to thank my father for helping me out with any questions and queries I had initially with trying to get into the industry, and my employer for taking me on board and teaching me a few things along the way.
Thank you, Councillor. I'd now like to ask Tom Thorpe to come again to the stage to announce and present the prize to the recipient of the Alan Broadhead second year, here we go, Apprentice of the Year. Here you are, Tom.
The winner of the second year Apprentice Student of the Year and the Alan Broadhead winner is Bradley Spitzer. Yeah.
And thank you to all our nominees. Thank you very much. Okay, you can grab your seat. Thank you. This year we have a truly worthy group of nominees, and I hope you're joining me in finding their stories inspiring. The pinnacle of an apprentice career is the third and final year, which is when we award the overall Apprentice Student of the Year for 2013. This student will then proceed as a nominee in the Victorian Apprentice of the Year Awards. Our next nominees fall into this category, and I'd like to invite Elizabeth White back to the stage to present the trophies to our finalists. I would also like to introduce the footage of our 4 final year apprentice finalists. Please join us on stage, Chris Price, Simone Beals, Warren Wu and Joel Rogers.
At Box Hill I studied Certificate 3 in Electrotechnology, electrician. I feel that an electrician has a lot of diversity in his role, a lot of opportunities compared to a few other things, and I thought that was the way to go for me. The aspects I found most interesting were the regulations. It sounds a bit school orientated, but I feel that's the main part of your job, is to know the regulations. My role models are definitely my parents. They're always helping with me with whatever I chose to do, and also my parents-in-law, which is sometimes hard to understand, but I feel that they are showing me a different light where you work hard, it'll come, and that's what I'm trying to put into my studies at the moment. You always dedicate yourself to it, and I believe things will happen off that. I think I'd be a worthy winner of the Student of the Year because of my dedication to the job. I always strive to do the best that I can at school, and I think it's an important part of your trade to know your schooling. I mean, it's going to serve you for the rest of your trade, so it's something you really want to harp on straight up. And I feel that my dedication to doing that, and also the extra curriculum that I'm doing at night school, really shows that I'm dedicated to what I'm doing.
I studied Certificate 3 in hairdressing at Box Hill Institute, and ever since I can remember I've been interested and passionate about hair, so I decided to follow that passion and make it my career. At Box Hill I enjoyed meeting new people, meeting new people in my industry, also learning the foundations and fundamentals behind my passion and what I like to do. My biggest role model in life would have to be Miranda Kerr. She is internationally renowned for what she does. She's one of the best at what she does. She's hardworking, dedicated. She helps her community through charity work, but also she balances work with her home life, which is amazing, and always doing so looking fabulous with her hair and what she wears. My teachers are fantastic. They're always there to help you, always know the answer to any questions you have. They're really good role models in themselves. They know so much about the industry and they're just really helpful. I'd like to thank my mum, family and friends for being models and letting me create all the crazy hairstyles on them. I'd like to thank my boss, Anthony, for seeing my potential and supporting me through my career. And I'd like to thank my team at Anthony Knits and Hair for being so supportive and for teaching me so many different things. They're all amazing stylists.
The reason I'm doing the Certificate 3 in Automotive at Box Hill TAFE is because I've always felt passionate about working on cars, and I wanted to be involved in the automotive industry. Teachers here at Box Hill TAFE, they've all come from the real world with a lot of real world experience, and they also carry with them a lot of specialist skills that we might not learn from textbooks, and these are the skills that we often need out in the real world, back in our workplaces. In the future, I would like to become a technical advisor or a automotive teacher eventually, further down the track. There are a few people that I would like to thank. First of all is Jason, which is one of our automotive teachers here, and without
Remain calm, everybody.
Is Jason, which is one of our automotive teachers here, and without him I wouldn't have come across the second person that I would like to thank. His name is Steve. He's my field manager at VACC. The third person that I would like to thank is the after sales manager at my work, Ashley. He's a fair and an inspiring person. The last person I would like to thank is the wife, who's been behind me the whole time, and without her putting up with me, I wouldn't be here.
I'm studying Certificate 3 furniture making, in brackets cabinet making, and I'm studying it because I enjoy making things with my hands and designing furniture. My role models are definitely my parents. They're very supportive and both very creative, which has helped me a lot. The teachers at Box Hill TAFE were all fantastic. They've all got years of experience behind them, and they're always full of knowledge and good advice. The practical side of my studies was definitely the best part of it. There's a lot of machinery out there which gives you a lot of opportunities to, you know, make whatever you want basically, which is awesome. I'd like to thank the teachers at Box Hill TAFE for always sharing their knowledge and giving great support. I'd like to thank my family for also supporting me, always backing me when I need it. I'd like to thank my employer, Ross Wheeler, for always pushing me to try harder and getting me to think outside the box. And lastly, I'd like to thank my girlfriend, who's probably the most creative and hard-working person I know.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I think there's a special editing award should be presented for that as well. At this point, I'd like to ask Joshua Whiting to return to the stage to name the winner of the 2013 Apprentice of the Year, and for Tom Thorpe to present the winner's trophy and cheque on behalf of the Rotary Club of Box Hill. Josh, I think the envelope is now in your hand. Would you please announce the winner of the 2013 Box Hill Institute Group Apprentice Student of the Year?
Thank you, James. The winner of the 2013 Apprentice Student of the Year is Simone Beals. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Now, before we ask Simone to say a few words, we'd like to share some of Simone's story. Simone is described as an outstanding student who continually strives for quality work of a very high standard. Simone's contingency skills and professionalism were commended by her teachers, who describe her as self-driven and passionate, and an excellent role model in the classroom. Simone enjoys the practical side of the course and being able to work with real clients, which increased her confidence and sharpened her people skills. Simone's skills were rewarded during her time at the Institute with several wins in various hairdressing competitions, which highlighted her creativity and skills as being first class. Simone has also been nominated this year for the Centre for Hair, Beauty and Floristry's Hairdressing Apprentice of the Year. Please join us in congratulating Simone. Thank you, Tom, and congratulations to all our finalists. Thank you. I now invite John Maddock to the stage for a final toast for our students.
Thank you very much. I'll just have to wait for them to stop hugging and kissing down there, but I think that that's appropriate, so we'll just give them a minute. Thank you. We've heard some fabulous stories here tonight about our apprenticeship student nominees, and we're here to celebrate not only the winners, but to celebrate all of you as we're going through. And we also want to celebrate the families. We heard a lot about that tonight, the employers that have been supporting there, and also the selected teachers that from your areas that have been here tonight, to give them recognition for the sort of commitment that they've made to you as well. Tonight is a significant night in terms of the achievements and the contributions of everybody here, and I'm sure everybody has been very, very impressed with the accomplishments, the dedication and commitment that all of our nominees and finalists have provided. Our staff are also here to ensure the awards are a success, and I'd like to thank the panel that was involved there. So Christine, Julie and Joel, thank you very much for the work that you have done. Also, it's a difficult job to select just any one winner, and when you look at the outstanding group that we had as finalists, I think you've had a very hard job, so we thank you very much for doing that. I'd also like to thank the organising committee that made this wonderful evening possible. Katrina, Suzanne and Katrina, again, thank you very much there. You've done a fantastic job in organising it. Yes. I'd also like to thank our digital team who produced the photography and the footage of the students there, but they've also organised the filming and the lighting for the evening so that everybody could participate and see right around. So Jonathan and Dave, fantastic job, both in the preparatory stage but also here at the actual event itself. We always love showcasing our students, so tonight has been about showcasing the apprentices and the trainees, but here we've had the hospitality and tourism students and the teachers. So Sandy and David, fantastic job that you've done with our hospitality students, where we've got Caddy, Aggie, Ben, Jessica, Rachel, Alex, Bin, Chloe and Aldi, and also we've got at Backett House, we've got Andrew, Gabrielle and Gautier. Can we say a really special thank you to making tonight a very special evening for us as well. You'll see the floral arrangements have been done by the floristry students as well, and this is part of the whole of the Institute. Everybody gets behind these events. But we also have had someone that's been just quietly working down here, and I can't see whether he's still here. Jedediah, he's been playing the music down here for us tonight. Is he still here, Jedediah? Yes, he is. Good. Thank you very much. Outstanding performance down there for us as well, Jedediah. Of course, we've already mentioned the Box Hill, the Rotary Club of Box Hill, and I'd like to make a special thank you to them. Not only for tonight, they have been absolutely loyal to us over many, many years. They've also helped us out when we had a year at late notice where a sponsor pulled out. They not only do that, they also give scholarships to students as well. And they really have been passionate supporters and really committed supporters of us. We'd like to thank you for that there. Particularly we'd like to thank Joe and Melissa and to Tom and Dorothy, a very, very special thanks. You've been the solid ones that have been with us all of the way through, as well as the vocational director. And to Lee and Lisa, we welcome you tonight, and we look forward to you coming again next year to be part of our night as well. But if you could take back to your members a very, very special thank you from us, and we'd also like to just present you with a certificate of thanks. So I'm not sure who's going to come up to get whether it's going to be Joe or Tom there, but don't fight over it. Come on, one please. We'd like, Tom, we'd like you to take this back. We have a photograph of Simone as the winner, and we'd like you to take it back and proudly display that with the club, with our thanks from the Institute. I'd also like to thank James Stafford, our man here, who would like to be inserted into the role for quite some time as the MC. So James, really thank you very much. You've done an outstanding job again emceeing for us. You do that on top of your normal role, and you did it last week, and we really do appreciate you stepping in and doing that. So thank you very much for the work that you've been doing there. I'd also like to thank Stephen Bills for coming along and sharing with us your story as you were going through. Obviously, it was a wonderful story, an inspiring story that you were telling us about the way that you did the creation there and your experience. It's sort of one of the things that you talked about is your experience bank, where you say putting in deposits and then investing in that it's good, because when you do have a bank of experience and a bank of learning, what happens is it's like a normal bank. If you put deposits in there, what you can do is use it for investments later, or you can use it when times get tough as well. So that really resonated with me. But also what resonated with me was when you talked about your colleagues that were driving down in the revving their engines down there. And I was thinking about how much time I lost negotiating with the neighbours about bringing in the police to try and arrest you. So that certainly did resonate with me as part of the stories. But we do thank you for coming along and doing that tonight. All of the developments that happen with apprentices, we see apprentices come in as first year. We see them when they come in, the skill levels that they have. We see the competences that they have when they come. But what we know is that it's the commitment, the passion that they do, and in terms of their learning, and it's when they look at the workplace and the technology changes that are always happening, that you're going to have to build your careers in terms of doing that. But you can't do that without guidance and support. And you get that guidance and support, as has been mentioned many times tonight, from family, from friends. You get that from your employers and special people in the workplace. But also what you do is you get that from the dedicated teaching staff that are here to support you in terms of the learning. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much to all of the teaching staff, all of the support staff that support with the learning, all of the administrative staff that assist you to get through. And I'd ask those that are here as representatives to take back the message to all of your teams, how much we do appreciate and how wonderful it is to see the development and the outstanding calibre of the people that are here tonight as representatives of your population of students and apprentices that are there, and take back our thanks there. It's really, really rewarding to come to these nights and hear students talk about the friendly, enjoyable, caring environment that they had and the personal support that they got, and how integral that was to their own well-being and success. And we're proud that what we can be seen as and be known as a caring institute that does develop our student population, does develop our learners, and does develop the students who come here and choose to come and study here. To Simone, you're an outstanding student, a very, very strong candidate that's here. You go on to the state awards and we have absolutely no expectations of you other than to win. But having said that, provided that what you do is you reach your full potential in going there, you give it your best shot, and you make the most of your opportunities, and we can give you all of the support to do that, and we will commit to doing that to give you the opportunity to be your best and also to represent both us and yourself in the way that you can. Then if you do all of that, we will be very proud of you, because we know that you're an outstanding apprentice that's here representing us. To all of the students that are here tonight, we value our relationship with you. We welcome you, those that are graduating, that are finishing with us, to members of our alumni, and everybody who is a finalist here tonight. I reiterate what's been said before, that tonight is a night to recognise your efforts. You are all winners because you have come here. We talk about our 40,000 students that are there. We actually, if we add on some of our learners that are in some of our more distant areas, we can put that figure up to 60,000 individual heads, over 1,000 registrations. For you to be here and be standing on this stage is something really very, very special. So what I would like to say is can we each of the award winners, what I'd like you to do is to stand up, please, that's there. If each of you, normally we do it the other way around. We normally ask people to stand up and people normally stay seated. But what I figure is we can see you if you're all standing up. And so what I'd like to do is to ask everybody to raise your glasses and toast all of our nominees, all of our finalists, and our 2013 Apprentice Student of the Year, Simone Beals. A toast to them all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the final thank you that I would like to do is to our two board members who have come here tonight as well, to Elizabeth and Michael. They've given up an enormous amount of their time over the last few months there. I'd like to particularly thank our chair, Elizabeth White, who is a leader in her own right, is a CEO of a very prominent organisation here in Victoria, a leader in the tourism industry, and is also a leader in terms of our own sector, in terms of the boards and governance, and does an outstanding job for us. And so I'd like to say thank you very much to you, Elizabeth, for all of the work that you've been doing. I know Elizabeth's been out probably in the last week at least 40% of the time working hard for this institute, and we say thank you very much for doing that. Yes, I think that needs very much a round of applause. That brings us to a close, ladies and gentlemen. There, for those of you who have enjoyed the night, without drinking, you'll have no trouble getting home. For those of you who have had a few drinks, please take a taxi or get a lift with somebody else. You can leave your car there. We won't book it till tomorrow morning. But please make sure, responsible serving of alcohol would say, make sure you go home safely. But I would like to finally say to everybody that is here, a very, very special thank you for attending. And also thank you to our community representatives that are here from the City of Whitehorse, from the City of Manningham, and our local constituent. Thank you everybody for your support over the years. Thank you for your continuing support now. And we wish you all for the best for the future and look forward to your continuing support. The last thing I have as a task is to ask our nominees and our winners to come out here. We need a group photograph before you go. But thank you everybody else for your attendance tonight, and we wish you well for Easter. Thank you.